morning, everyone. My name is Chen Zichen, and my advisor is Professor Zhang Mengqi. And today I'm going to present this paper. And this paper is about the function of the OsHKT 1.4 in the rice. And when planes in the salinity stress, it will suffer ionic and osmotic stress. And the ionic stress may cause the sodium ion toxicity. And the osmotic stress may cause the dehydration. And today we focus on the ionic stress pathway. And the sodium ion toxicity will inhibit the proton synthesis and the plane's enzyme activity. So planes, in order to adapt to the salinity stress, it will regulate their ion transporter to balance the ion content in the planes. And there are 3 different kinds of ion transporter in the rice: the SOS, NHX, and the HKT. And today we're going to introduce this OsHKT. And in the 2005, in another paper, they crossed the salt tolerance rice variety and normal Tokra, and the salt sensitive rice variety and Koshi Hikaki. And they, by making the hybrid, and find a SKC1's QTL, and they transform the SKC1's promoter and the open reading plane into the rice and plants in the salt stress. And after 7 days, they detect the potassium and the sodium ion contents in the plants, and then finds the SKC1 QTL can maintain higher potassium ion and lower the sodium ion contents in the plants. And then they alignment the SKC1 to other 4 HKT genes, and they find the HKT1 has a 44% identical to the OsHKT1. So they also assume that the OsHKT1's the function is about the regulates the potassium and the sodium ion contents in the plants. So the HKT is an abbreviation of the high affinity potassium ion transporter, and in the rice they can be divided into 2 different groups. And the group 1 is about its preference for sodium ion transport, and the group 2 can select for either sodium and the potassium ion, depends on their concentration and environment. So in this paper, the author wants to know the detailed function of the OsHKT 1.4. And first, the isolation of a tDNA insertion mutant lines. And on the tDNA, there are 4 enhancer elements on the tDNAs, and it inserts on the upstream of the OsHKT 1.4. And this tDNA can activate the OsHKT 1.4's expression level. And the qPCR data show is that the leaf sheet 6 and other stain has a higher expression level than the wild type. And they also build the RNA line, and the RNA line expression level are also lower than the wild type. And then they plant the transgenic plants in the substrates, then use the ICP mask to detect the sodium ion and the potassium ion concentration in the plants. And the data show in the overexpression line, the roots and the young leaf and the old leaf sheaths and the sodium ions are higher than the wild type. However, in the old leaf blade and the overexpression line, sodium ions are lower than the wild type. And in the young leaves, the sodium ion contents are lower than the wild type. But there is no difference between the RNA line and the wild types and sodium ion contents. So the OE plants show significantly higher sodium ion concentration than the wild type. However, the old blades patterns are upside to the young and to the old sheaths. And the sodium ion content is no different between the RNA and the wild type under the substrates. So in the previous slide, and in the overexpression line has a lower sodium ion contents in the leaf blade. So this is a positive factor for the plants. And however, interestingly, when in the substrates, the overexpression line suffer more damage than the wild type. So the author want to know what is the reason cause such phenomenon. And they use the isotope to trace to trace the sodium ion contents location. And the data show in the overexpression line, the sodium contents are accumulated as the basal medians. And they also use the rhizophil esterification assay to detect the root activities and use the bromose glycopurple as a pH indicator. And we know there are many proton ATPase pump on the root surface, and the pump can exchange the proton from the membrane and outside the membrane and decrease the environment's pH value. And in the normal conditions, the bromo glycopurple will turn into yellow because of the acidification of the roots. But in the source trace, the overexpression line's color change will decrease because of the downregulation of the overexpression line's root activities. So the overexpression line has a lower root activity and show increased sensitivity to the source trace. And in conclusion, and when implants the wild type overexpression and RNA line in the source trace, the sodium ion will accumulate as the overexpression lines, roots, and the basal median of the rice, and then decrease the root activities and increase the overexpression line source sensitivities for the rice. And this is my speech, and thanks for your attention.